G'day guys, Aussie Bonsai, Bloke, here you go. Today we're working on an olive. I'll just go and get it. Okay, I'm just around the corner here. You can probably still hear me, I'm in the wind. And I'll just go and get this tree. I can't really lift it too well, so she's on the old wheelbarrow. Got Adrian Eggleton's big turntable here, you can see that. Absolutely massive turntable. Stainless steel, never rust. Bloody beauty. Check him out. Alright, I'll get this tree out. Oh, man, oh man alive. Man, oh man alive. Get rid of some of these weeds. I don't want you guys to see all these weeds I've got here. No, they're not that bad, are they? Hey. That's pretty good. Alright. Okay, let's close the door up and let's get into it. Oh, hang on. I've got no lights set up. Silly Sammy. Silly Sam, always mucking around. No lights set up, nothing. Here we go. There we go. Okay. It's that. Don't know if this one's works. I think it still does. Let's connect that one and turn her on to another light. Yep. Okay. Beauty. Okay, well, let's pull you back a bit because this tree is absolutely massive. Just huge, man. Look at that. This is my massive olive. Now, g'day, Aussie Bonsai, Bloke, here you go. Well, you can see this thing here is bloody tall, overgrown. And I'll tell you what, that was a real struggle getting it up on the table. Almost to the point where I almost just trimmed it myself out in the middle of the yard and didn't worry about doing a video. But then I thought of you guys and thought, you know what, I better do a video. Don't be lazy, Sam. But it is a mammoth tree to move on your own. You really, it's really a two-person tree to lift. But I can do it on my own. So we've got it on Adrian Eggleton's turntable. I'll just give you a spin of the tree, how it looks now before we start. Okay, so that's his big stainless steel turntable that he made for me. Just massive. Well, as per usual, I've lost my snips. Don't know what I've done with them. Looking for them. But they seem to be lost. Oh, found them. You know, I just walk around with stuff in my hand, walk around with it in my hand, and then I lose it. Now, for some reason, just then, I had the earbud in, and it was okay for sound, I think, apart from the wind, but the exposure was flickering, almost like it was overexposed. But now normal video mode without that, it seems okay. So I don't know what's going on there. I'll have to sort it out. But anyway, I'll bring you in a bit closer because we don't need to see the whole massive tree, do we? Don't need to see the shoots that are going up and nearly hitting the shed roof. Okay guys, so today is just about a trim on this tree. I've got a few little weeds, but not too bad, you know. Been keeping it under pretty well control, all these weeds. This olive is extremely healthy, as you can see. It's put out a lot of shoots. You've got some dead leaves here, a lot of dead leaves. What happens is these olives eventually shed all their old leaves and just dump them in the pot. And the good thing about them shedding their old leaves, if you're too lazy to clean out the crotches and stuff where there's all leaves, so you can see branching, eventually those leaves will actually drop off anyway and do the job for you. So if you're lazy like me, you can just let the tree do its own thing, and eventually the inside of the tree will be quite bare without leaves, and you'll be able to see all the structure. So if I get up in here, I can really see all the structure. I'll show you guys the structure while I'm showing. Might as well. So here's a big trunk, and up here, if I can get the camera up there, you can see all the structure in there without all the leaves. You know, there's no leaves and stuff left inside there. It's all bare. All the old leaves have dropped off, and I haven't really gone to a lot of effort to pick them off. So it's just nature taking its own course there. And a lot of your weak inner branches like these have died, which is fine. They can die, but the outside's going good. Yeah, really cool. So anyway, she's a heavy old tree. Let's get to working on it. Here we are, probably 10 minutes in again, and I haven't even started. Surprise, surprise. Alright guys, so basically what we're going to be doing is the usual, cut back to 2 shoots per location. If you do have 3 to choose from, choose the stronger branching in the bottom of the tree, because these are still apically dominant, even though they're not as bad as some other trees, they still are. So you're still choosing your stronger shoots at the bottom, if you've got the choice. If you've got 3 from one location, you've got 2 really strong ones and a weak one, you'll choose the 2 strong ones. If you're at the top of the tree and you've got a really strong one and a weak one, you'll be choosing, I hope you will be, you'll be choosing the weak one and then the next strongest one, the second strongest one. Try not to choose the strongest ones unless you've got the leader, unless it's part of the leader, because most trees are apically dominant and you're always trying to slow the top down while increasing the growth at the bottom. This tree is 100% full of, I call them jumping spiders. They're like a little baby spider. And there's a lot of them in here. I've already come across 3 here just now. They're a pretty common thing, so, you know, I think I've slowly desensitized to them. I'm not to the point of freaking out about a spider in my tree anymore, and I'll just let them be and let them live in there. I did knock a couple of big black house spiders off the bottom of the pot before I lifted it up, because there was 3 big ones under there, 2 really big ones and 1 sort of medium to small one. And you know, as much as they're not overly poisonous, they're pretty ugly, and I think they do hurt a little bit if you do get bitten by one. So we're just opting to go pretty short with the nodes, or with the length. I pay, like I've said before in a lot of videos, I pay no attention to how many nodes I'm cutting back to. I just cut back to a fairly consistent length on new branches of, you know, around a centimetre. Much more than a centimetre, and I won't, you know, and it's getting too long, too straight to create a good ramification. The only time I'll leave it longer than that is if it's an interior branch struggling for light, trying to make it to the outside silhouette of the tree. Then I will allow that one to be longer and possibly not even cut it. Possibly I can just leave it till next time, let it get stronger and fatten up, and then next time cut it back a bit and it'll have a lot of strength to rebud. But at the very least I will let that branch get close to the outside silhouette of the tree or the sunlight, otherwise it will die. So, you know, I really shouldn't be just trimming the back of the tree there. You guys can't see too much at all. I was going to swear then, but then I thought I might get in trouble with YouTube. So, let's keep going around. Bigger ones at the bottom. Like I've said in the past too, these deciduous, what the heck are you talking about? These olives, can't even remember what I was going to say now that I just muddled up and said deciduous. I don't even know what I was thinking. Yeah, like I've said in the past, I'm hoping by repeating that, it'll jog my memory and I'll just snap back into it. But no, I've lost everything. Lost my whole train of thought. Forgot what I was saying. No idea. So I'm not worrying too much about which way the two new shoots will come out. I don't care whether it's horizontal or vertical. You know, like if I cut that, I don't care whether the next shoot is going to have one down, one up, or one across, or, you know, like two out horizontal plane or two out vertical plane. I don't care. You know, a lot of people try and go for the horizontal plane, but to me that just creates a boring tree. And also, then when they can't get one that's horizontal plane, they'll actually wire that shoot to a horizontal plane. What for, you know, like that gets rid of the fullness of a tree. You really want the tree to look full. So anyway, that's just my 2 cents on that. Doesn't really matter, just make sure you chop the length of the shoot, the new ramification, back to roughly around a centimetre, and then it can divide again from there. And also, you know, like I've said before, these older, more, I think that's what I was going to say before, these older, more developed trees only tend to shoot out 2 from each location, sometimes only 1, a lot of the time 2. They just seem to settle down in their older age, or because they're pot bound, I'm not sure, because we're restricting their growth with the pot, I'm not sure. But I know as they get older and more settled into the old bonsai, they seem to less and less send too many shoots. I know when they're young, an olive tree can be a real handful. So here we've got a weak branch very close to the outside, and I've left the shoots longer, like they're probably maybe even up to 5 centimetre long shoots that I've left, just so they'll try and get to the outside of the tree. But yeah, as the tree gets older, it seems to settle into old age or whatever it is. I don't know what it is, but it seems to settle in. Just throw 1 or 2 shoots from each spot that you're cutting it at. So when the new growth comes back, it'll only send 1 or 2 shoots from that location, and they're a lot simpler to work on. You don't need to worry about going back and looking to see whether, you know, you got 3 or 4. The olives can even send out 7 when they're really young and vigorous when they're first collected. An olive can actually send out 7 shoots from one single location, and you've got to go in there, and it's so hard to see in the big mess, and you've got to go in there and try and sort it out and clean it up. But when they get to this stage, they're quite easy. But I just love, absolutely love the olive, everything about it, the way it shoots, the way it behaves, strength, small leaves. You know, they forgive you for whatever you do to them. I've had this tree here for 12, I don't know, I've been doing bonsai nearly 12 years because daughter's nearly 12. So 11 years I've had this tree, and in that time I've let it dry out in the sun and burn at least twice. Completely dry out. One time this tree 100% defoliated itself. We completely let it burn to the point that the whole tree dropped every single leaf, and then it had to reshoot. Now there is a bit of a story behind that, but I don't know whether I quite want to tell the story because I might get in trouble with the wife, because the wife had something to do with it. No, I won't tell it. Alright, let's tell it. Please, no one report back to Carly about this. My wife. What happened is I went away on a holiday to, you know, on a 3-day long weekend. Australia Day long weekend. I said to the wife, she had no interest in gardening or my bonsais. She wouldn't do it now, it should be a lot better now, but I'm just saying, back then, she said, oh, well if you go away, I'm not going to water your trees. I said, okay, well I'll set up an automatic watering system, so I quickly set one up. I said, can you please make sure that the automatic watering system works? We go out and check on it. No, I want nothing to do with your trees while you're away. Anyway, I tested it. It was all good. It worked. I mean, you could semi-blame myself too. So it all worked. The whole system worked. I thought, okay, good. You know, I can go away. They'll water themselves. They'll be okay. Anyway, the temperature forecast was 40, 41, 44 or something like that, you know, all in the 40s. That's Celsius. And I thought, oh no, it's going to be so hot. But luckily I had this system going with a tap timer, similar to what I got now, but anyway, long story short, I was enjoying my time away, thinking, oh yeah, the wife was only joking. She'd seriously check on them and let me know if something was going on and they didn't water. Anyway, I got back 3 days later, didn't I? Every single one of my trees was completely bone dry. They'd not been watered pretty well the whole time I'd been gone, I think. 40 plus degrees. This olive dropped all its leaves. Anything that I've had since the start, so there was probably about another, probably only my other really old olive that I worked on the other week. Don't know whether I did a video on that, but I've got another really old olive which is really bad. Like, it's been so slow to progress, so I haven't bothered doing a video on it. But anyway, I've had that one for a long time, and that one's got some really old bark. Had that one as well. Anyway, they were completely dry, lost all their leaves. Their leaves were all shriveled up. Over the next week, they dropped every single leaf. A whole lot of them. My deciduous as well. I think I had my ash. Yeah, I did, because my ash is my first one that I had. So I had my ash, that completely lost all its leaves. A couple of trees died, but in general, I soaked all of them in water straight away and really looked after them and really watered them hard for the next few days to get them really soaked again. And this tree here, mind you, it was nowhere near this developed. It was just a stump with 5 or 6 branches coming out. But this tree here completely lost every single leaf and was absolute toast. And luckily, it decided it wanted to live and it put out new shoots. So here we are now. Lesson learned. When the wife says she's not going to look after the trees while I'm away, she means it. She ain't joking. Anyway, that's my problem. Lesson learned. And you know what happened? I'll tell you what actually happened is the hose blew off of the automatic watering system. So the hose blew off, so the tap was still coming on, but instead of it going on the bonsai trees, it was just spraying straight on the ground and missing all the trees. So in a way it was my own fault because I didn't do up the connection tight enough and it blew off. So lesson learned. Anyway, we're getting close to finishing this tree. There's a lot of shoots to cut, but it's quite a therapeutic job to do. I love doing it. It's one of my funnest parts. It's cutting back pretty short. Trying to keep 2 from each location. I know I keep saying that, but it's for real. If you do occasionally get 3, it's not going to matter, you know, like, it's not a hard and fast rule, it's just to help keep the ramification going. Okay, so here we've got a really strong bit, and we do actually have 3, these 3 here. So what I'll do is I'll cut this top one right off, that one will be gone completely. Like I say, strong ones at the bottom. Strong ones at the bottom, weak ones at the top. So I chopped the strong one off at the top and I opted to keep the 2 weaker ones. There was 3 from that location. Just keeping them all back to a short stub. Really cool, this tree. It's just developed itself. I did some initial wiring on this. I think I wired it out twice when I first got it, when I was learning. Wired out some branches. If I can find some old pictures, I'll try to put them up. I reckon there's probably a chance that I could find some. They'll be very low quality pictures. There's a good chance that I could find some. Not on my computer, but on a website I think that I posted it on. I think I posted it on Olive Bonsai. Try and grab one of the pictures off of there. There's strength at the top. That whole branch is going to come off. It's just too strong. The top of the tree. There we go. I just chopped it clean out. Look at that. Really. Almost the size of a little finger. Pretty close. And that just grew straight up the top. Like a couple of elk horns. Just keep chopping away. Really, this time of year when everything's growing strong, it really invigorates you and gets you back in the mood for bonsai, you know. Like in the middle of winter, it's really, when there's not much to do, it's really hard to stay keen on bonsai. And you get a bit slack, but when you start working on your trees again like this in summer and they're really growing strong, it's a great time to get re-enthused, reinvigorated, watch more YouTube. I love watching all the YouTube channels out there, all the different people and artists out there. I would love to have a club to go to, but I think for me the club's just too far away. You know, maybe one day I could find someone like-minded and similar type of trees and do some workshops, you know. Well, not so much workshops, but just get together and work on a tree. But I've got to find someone, hopefully, you know, similar sort of stage in their bonsai. Got some really nice ones, and we could just work together and I could learn a lot, because I still got a lot to learn, but the problem is it's just so hard to head into Adelaide and go to a club meeting or whatever, because you know it's a bit of a drive and you don't know what they're going to do that day. I don't want to drive an hour and a half each way, 3 hours driving to listen to someone talk about rocks for 2 hours, because sometimes, I ain't joking, their meeting will be, you know, talking about rocks for 2 hours, or talking about, they had one time had a floating bonsai meeting where they make those bloody bonsai that you put in some sphagnum moss and hang them up and let them float around in a circle. Well, you know, I got better stuff to do with my time than worry about that. But if I knew they were going to have some serious bonsai stuff on, I'd be there in a flash. It's just hard to know what they're going to do each week. So yeah, it's just a little bit too far for me, but we'll sort that out. And hopefully one day I can start doing some work with someone at a similar stage in their bonsai. Well guys, no, not sure what happened there, but she turned off on her own while I was talking, yabbering on. But anyway, I was going to say, you'll notice the leaves at the bottom on the interior that don't get as much sun. See the size of them compared to the top where they get a lot of sun, a lot smaller leaves. Bigger leaves, smaller leaves. Same tree, just one of them's seeing a lot more sun and one of them's struggling for light, so you'll get bigger leaves. So that come off the bottom down here, a lot bigger leaves. So I'll probably face that towards the sun. But yeah, pretty well finished this tree. Maybe a few bits of trim here and there. But really happy with this progress. I tell you what, I had a mini freak out because I was trimming, talking, and then I went to check the video to see how it's going, and it was off. And I thought, you've got to be bloody joking me. I forgot to push record, but for some reason it turned off on its own, not sure why. But it managed to catch pretty well everything. Missed a little bit of my yabbering on at the end, but not too bad. But at one stage I thought, you know what, I just carried the tree in, from the bonsai area for nothing because I didn't bloody push record, you idiot Sam. But anyway, turns out I did, and we're all good. So trees being fully worked on now, and most of it got recorded, which is good. Just such a cool tree, this one. It's just really developed well over the years. Last couple of bits and pieces. One under here. So yeah, after, you know, all that yabbering on, one day I'd like to join a club when I've got a bit more time to travel. At the moment, not enough time to travel. It'd be nice to show a few trees, but you can't actually show a tree locally unless you are part of the club. Although I could do something for the Adelaide show. Something in the Adelaide show maybe, I'm not sure. But anyway, then I think you might even have to be part of the club to display in there, I'm not sure. Maybe not. Anyway, that doesn't matter. At the moment, we're just having fun doing our bonsai at home in the shed, and it's just great fun. So, as long as you're having fun, it doesn't really matter. It's the main thing. Have fun with your bonsai. Don't take it to heart when people pay out your tree, because sometimes those people don't know what the bloody hell they're on about. This tree here used to get paid out too, but you might still pay it out, but I don't care. I reckon she's going alright. Beauty! Cheers for watching Aussie Bonsai Bloke. Please like, share, subscribe. Tell your mates about the channel. Put this beautiful girl back on the shelf. And thank you very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. All your comments, really appreciate it. Love reading all the comments. Love you guys. And that's about it. I'll give you a spin of the tree on the way out.